What do you say to the people that are watching right now that might be thinking, okay, this Ray guy might be just a little too into the Bible to be involved in politics, and how do you make an outreach to the younger people that are a little bit more secular? Like what's your pitch to them? Your pitch right now is it'll work with my dad. It's going to work with a lot of the conservative traditional crowd. How do you speak to the younger people that are in the colleges, to younger people who are wondering what you're going to bring to the table when it comes to policy, or how policy could be affected by your religious beliefs?
So I was asked a question about something similar from a person who was not a believer, and he asked me something like, will you support my right to not believe? And I said, absolutely. You will never hear me say that because you are not a believer that you have no room on this table. Please do not comment. Your comments, your thoughts have no value. Absolutely not. Your First Amendment protected rights are as valuable as mine, but they're not more valuable. Which means that because I'm a believer doesn't mean that I'm going to shut up. Right. So some people try to say that, hey, when you're talking to someone that's not a believer, maybe you shouldn't bring up the Bible because they don't believe it, and so you got to bring up things and they say, wait a minute, that's not my problem. That they're not believers. I am. I'm going to cling to the Bible. I'm going to cling to my guns, like Obama said. Those people in Southwest Pennsylvania, they just cling to their Bibles and their guns. You may as well have been talking about South Texas, because we in South Texas do the same thing, and we're proud of it. Let me just tell the young people that policies that affect you will be made by someone. If you choose someone whose morality is not based on something good, whether it's Buddha, whether it's some faith, something good, if it's based on personal promotion, be careful. There are when I was in medical school, there was a guy who came and visited us. And imagine there's a big old auditorium of a bunch of aspiring doctors. We're all going to be doctors one of these days. And this guy comes in and he asks a question. He says, you all have been hanging out with each other for about a year now. Isn't it true that when you're out of here, when you're all practicing doctors and you get sick, there are some people in here that you would never go to? There was absolute silence. And everyone in that room had someone in mind. You think of why would that, is it just because they're not very good doctors, or for some people it's just because, dude, that guy is mean. That guy doesn't care. So something is motivating them to do, in this case, medicine, or in the case of policy making, to be a politician. What motivates me to be in politics now is to do good for my country for a period. That's why I told you, I don't know if I mentioned it here, that I'm only going to do this for a short amount of time, 6 years maximum in this position, and then I'm out of here. I'm not doing this for self-promotion. I'm not doing this to create some kind of career. So if that's the kind of person that you want making policy for your future, I think you should look at me, whether or not I'm religious or not.